So I've got Amanda Zambon. Is that how you say your name, or is it Zambone?
It's Zambon.
Zambon. Okay, Amanda Zambon with Bald Eagle Harley Davidson. And you are in the Upper Peninsula,
Yes,
right?
we are way up north.
Way up north, right? So the UP, the Upers, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So very unique area of the country, very isolated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are a smaller dealer, right? Smaller, family-run, family-owned, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Being so far up north, we're actually the only dealer in the whole UP. So we definitely we're kind of a destination spot for travelers coming through, but we only have 3 months of riding weather up here, typically. So we have had some troubles getting our actual local customers to connect with us, and they were kind of wanting a sale every month.
Mm-hmm.
So we were trying to figure out a way to get them to kind of break them of that cycle, I guess.
Okay.
And that's when we heard about the rewards program.
Okay. And you're the motor clothes manager, right? And you're also involved in some of the marketing and promotions there,
Yep.
from what I know.
Yeah.
All right. So I think when I initially, talked with you guys, it was you actually liked the features, you liked what it was doing, but there was a sense of, okay, maybe we're too small, we're too isolated, we can't do this, it's too big for us. How did you guys kind of overcome that state of mind?
Being such a small dealership, it actually works out really well for us because the main concern that I had was the fact of the technology that is used with the rewards program. And up here in the UP, there's some areas that don't even get the internet. So in order for customers to really connect with the whole program and to use it to the full advantage, we have opened up our computers to them basically, and we'll look up the points for them when a local customer comes in, and I see them and I'm like, hey, do you know how many points you have? They're like, no, how many? And I'll let them know, and it's kind of exciting. They get really excited about how many points they've earned, but that's how we've overcome the fact of the technology and being in such a small, isolated area.
There's a gap. There's a technology gap there, but you guys have worked with them personally to overcome it.
Yeah.
It's helped you being a smaller dealership. You know people by name. You see the same people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. All right, that's good. And so you would, as we talked the other day, you said you view the program as a success, and you plan to sign up even more people, start getting your hog chapter involved.
Mm-hmm.
And you're pretty confident about that, right? You've been running this program for about, 8 months.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, what are some of the future things you want to do with it, or where do you want to take it?
Well, I definitely want to use the e-marketing more. We have always sent out announcements of events and different things going on in the dealership via mail. I know that we can definitely reach more people and, send out more announcements of different things going on in the dealership with the e-marketing. It's just the time of the year that we haven't really been able to sit down and really kind of use the features of the e-marketing. So that's definitely one thing during our slow time that we want to do is take advantage of that.
You'll do things when you get the time. I mean, essentially that's what it is, right? So it's not that you don't want to use it. It's just that you got to take things slowly, and we've allowed you to do that, right? So
definitely.
It's a good thing. And the Hog Chapter 2, I know that was kind of in a disarray when you started, and we're trying to get that back on board, right? So using Chapter Manager.
Yeah. One thing that we've done with the chapter, because there has been some backlash with them, because we used to give them 10% off, but we just really point out all the positive things always. If they come in and they're like, wow, I wish I had 10% off of this purchase, it's like, well, you have 3 sale items in here that you're getting points for that you would have never got 10% off of previously. So you are earning points where you probably wouldn't have gotten a percentage off before. So we just turn kind of the negative comments into positive things as much as we can.
Okay. And people are getting used to that. They're cashing out some coupons. They're seeing some money back for their purchases now. And now it's a little bit better.
Really cool to see, especially people who get service done or buy parts or are buying a new bike. They don't get points for the purchase of the new bike, but adding on all those parts and everything. We've had some people, after a week they've already earned the $325 certificate back, so which is quite a few points. So it's definitely a positive thing.
And it would have been better, for them to cash out that coupon than to give them just a flat 10%, because you don't know where they're going to spend that 10%. It could be at your store. It could be at another store. It could be for something else, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole gist behind the program. So, now, you mentioned something about your month of August here, and you mentioned some margins and other things, and I thought that was pretty interesting.
Well, for the whole year, our margins are way up in parts and accessories, and also in the general merchandise department. I completely blame it on, which is a good blame, on the rewards program because, we haven't been having to have so many sales or things like that, or if we do have an event, we'll give double points. But our margin last year in August was 35%, and this year it's up to like 46%.
Well, that is an amazing statistic there. Is there anything else you'd like to add or talk about?
Well, one cool thing that we also use for the rewards program, like we do a poker run or a customer pass here for every person that buys a new bike. We bring around to each department, and last year what we would do is, it would be the manager's discretion of the department what percentage we would give off to the person. So a lot of times we would do like 10 or 15% off their whole purchase in the motor clothes department when they were buying their riding gear. Well, this year it's kind of cool because we're trying not to discount as much as we can, and instead of giving the customer 10% off or 15% off, we'll give them like 200 bonus points. And when they hear like 200 bonus points, it just sounds like so big to them, but really, like it will eventually add up for them. But it's definitely a cool play on things.
Well, you're saying essentially that you spent, I think you give 1 point for every dollar spent, right, usually. So I think what you're saying to them is, look, this is like you've spent $200 at our store.
Yeah.
So some people could get pushed into a higher coupon that they can print out immediately, or it could put them on their way. So that's something we definitely encourage. So that's a really good idea that I wish more people would do, which again is another reason why I so much wanted to talk with you guys, because a lot of the dealers I work with, they don't want to push the program. They don't want to get the program because I'm too small. We're family run. People wouldn't accept it. We can't introduce anything new to these people. They don't use technology, right?
Yeah.
I mean, those are the same things I hear, and you guys have overcome all of those, and you're using e-marketing. Granted it's slow, in some of those areas, but you're still forging ahead, and you're doing something. Again, you're the only Harley dealer in the UP?
Yep.
Is that correct? Okay, so you're the only Harley dealer in the UP, and you're doing it, and increasing margins, and that leaves pretty much no excuse for anyone outside, that might be under some better circumstances. With a 3-month riding season, you said, imagine that. So, no, I see it as all positive things. So, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Yeah, not a problem.